In this video, let us see the top 10 inventions of the Middle Ages. Number 10, heavy plough, 5th century AD. While primitive ploughs had been in use since perhaps the late Stone Age, they were usually fragile and ill suited for heavy soils. Moreover, the only way to adjust the depth of a furrow was the plowman to physically lift the plows as it cut. Number 9. Tidal mills, 7th century AD. Tidal mills are driven by the tidal rise and fall of water and are thus more efficient than the mills that are strictly on the flow of water from streams and rivers. A body of water affected by tides is dammed, and a one-way sluice gate allows for water to enter a mill pond with the high tide. Number 8. Hourglass, 9th century AD. The hourglass was one of the first portable and reusable methods of determining time, fairly accurate and highly versatile. Hourglasses could be employed in a variety of places, most importantly at sea, where timekeeping was a vital necessity. Number 7. Blast Furnace, 12th century AD. The Cistis- Cistercian monks, known for their skills in metallurgy, and are believed to be responsible for transmitting the technological know-how behind the furnace, with every monastery possessing a factory and water system to drive the missionary therein. Number 6. Liquor, 12th century AD. While true distillation dates back to Babylon of the 4th millennium BC, it was not until the time of the Muslim alchemists in the 8th and ninth centuries that alcohol distillation. Number 5. Eyeglasses, 13th century. Historians argue whether lenses of eyeglasses were first developed in the West or in China, but in any case, they appear in the 13th century and are first remarked upon in print by Roger Bacon. Number 4. Mechanical clock, 13th century AD. No one is certain when the mechanical clock was first invented, but it's assumed that their earliest uses were in monasteries to call the monks to prayer. Number 3. Spinning wheel, 13th century AD. It's believed that the spinning wheel has its own origins in India, though this is uncertain. At any rate, it came to Europe in the Middle Ages and replaced the handheld drafts, handheld distaffs. Number 2. Quarantine, 14th century AD. The first quarantine we know of occurred in Venice in the 14th century and was, of course, an attempt to stem the spread of the plague. Ships arriving from the east were held in isolation for a period of time sufficient to indicate whether plague was aboard, and if so, to allow it to dissipate. Last one, number 1, is printing press of Gutenberg, 15th century AD. While the Chinese had first used movable type and paper, it was not until the development of Gutenberg's press that the process became mechanized and allowed for true mass dissemination of the printed word. So these are the top 10 inventions of the Middle Ages.